I had these 2 packs of 3x3 cards and envelopes that I found at Joann's. They're actually Joann brand, and they were on clearance. So I pulled them out because I was going to cut some with my silhouette machine, and then I saw these kind of sticking in a basket, and I'm like, oh, I have 3x3 cards and envelopes. But they are black, and I'm pretty sure that it's the card that is black and the, hold on. This one's been used. I used these like a long time ago. Yeah, so it's the card that is black, and then the envelope is white. So, use or lose. I want to use them. I think even though there's black on here, I think that I could cover most of the black with my paper. And since it already has, you know, a white envelope, it's like set, and I can alter this a little bit too. So, and I really don't need that many. So let's just go ahead and use them. And let's see how much. I mean, I'm going to cover most of this, I think. It still has to fit in here. There's not too much space to get crazy as far as design, so I'll have to do a simple flat design for this if I'm going to use. It's snug. Wow, it's snug. Wow, it's so snug I can't even get the thing on. I'm going to use, I don't know why there's 2 out. I think they just came out on their own. I think I want to use this really cool paper for one of them. I'm going to use my little cutter here, this little Fiskars cutter that I got from Walmart. I don't know how much it is, but I did get it at Walmart, and they still have them there. Okay, I get a pencil. I won't be measuring anything. I don't like to measure anything. I'm just going to eyeball. I do want it slightly smaller, and we're just going to leave a very thin line there, so there's not too much black showing. And actually, yeah, that's fine there. I'm just going to mark it and then cut and see where we're at. And for these, I will just be gluing everything down with my crafter's tape from AdTech. It's the permanent, and I also have found those at Walmart. And actually, they come in a box of 4, and they also have, like, I think, refills. But since I have bought these, I only got 2 boxes. They haven't refilled. They're already empty on the shelf over there. So I'm hoping they do come back, or maybe another Walmart will have them. But yeah, because I don't want to order online. I like to have things right away. So we're just going to cut that down. I think that's the line. I should be wearing my glasses. You know, my glasses are so old, they're not even, I need to get new ones, you know, with a better prescription. They just help a little bit. Okay. And then we'll cut the other line. Right about there. Let's see where we're at. Okay, that's good. So you don't see too much of the black. And actually, I don't mind the black. I know I'm doing shabby chic projects, but just a touch of black isn't too bad. And we're going to do the inside. I'm going to do the back as well, because that's too much black. So I might just do the reverse. Oh, that's dark. I don't like that. I think I'll just use the same paper to use that up. Let's see how much I can get on this and still be able to slip the card into the envelope. Okay, so that's going to be my back. I'll do that now. Just stick it on there. do have a hard time centering things, but I think I got it. Okay, and then my front. Okay. Alright, so back and front. Now for the inside. The inside. Okay, let's use something a little different. I'm going to use this blue pattern here. I mean with the floral. Yeah, that's cool. So, I'm going to do the same way. I'm just going to measure the same size as this piece that I already had put down. I'm just looking for where I made my mark. I think there's one right around there. So I'm trying to use up the pieces that I've already been cutting into. This way I don't have a lot of this kind of paper left where it's just, you know, all chopped up like that. And if I do let it go to someone else, you know, they don't have to get all this. Try not to, you know, break into some newer sheets. Alright. Let's see here. Now I could ink the edges, but I'm trying not to do it too vintagey looking since there's already black on here. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to do this side though. I'm going to just leave that. I forgot which way this went. I have one side longer than the other. Yeah, it was this way. Okay. So we got that. Now, let's check and see, because now it's a little thicker than it was before. Let's make sure we can still slip in there. Oh yeah, we can still slide in and slide out. So now, we need to decorate this, but I also want to do a little something to that. Just, I'll leave that for now. Yeah, so I'm going to use these stickers, and okay, I like that. I just feel like I need one piece or something to go across there. So let's see. I don't have my glue gun on. I'm going to turn that on just in case. I feel like I need something to run across either this way or this way, and then I can add that. If I use lace, it might be a little too thick. So probably, oh, you know what, maybe the little borders that they have in here, that might work. Because there's borders in here that I could use, like these borders. I think so. And then there's this floral border. Oh, I like that floral. Okay, let's just use that. You know what? I'm going to use it. I have to use this too. I'm not breaking out my cutter, my big one, because it's just too much. I can't tell which way this goes. So how much do I want to use? I'm going to just cut the little... It has some words here, say magnifique, so I think maybe I'll use that part. And then I'm going to leave out the crowns. There's little teeny tiny crowns in there. I don't know if you could see them, little blue crowns. They're so small, it's almost You can't tell what they are. Okay, let's see how that looks. Do I want that say magnifique? Yes, I do. So we're just gonna cut that off. Glue it on. Okay, come on, am I done with this? It's almost empty. Yeah, it's almost empty. Alright, and now that should stick on its own, hopefully. Let's get this on in the center. And voila. There is my cute little card. And I don't know if I want to mat in here because you can write directly on here like with a black felt pen, I think. So I think I'll just leave it like that. Alright, so there is one card. That was easy. So let's do the envelope. I'm not going to do the other cards on camera. I'm just going to see what I could do about my envelope. It needs something. I bet this one would be better. Let's see how that looks. So I feel like I need to cover, you know, a big space there. And no, come on. And then I'm out of glue, I think. I think I'll use that. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this guy on, little butterfly, put a little bit of glue on this one. And I'm going to put it at an angle there. And then I'm going to turn this around because I really like the idea of this being like a seal. So I'm just going to do it on the top half. So whoever does receive this, my partner, she can put a little bit of adhesive on that and close it there instead of using this adhesive. That looks, I don't even know if that is even going to stick if you wet that. So there is my card and envelope, and let's test this out carefully because it is dimensional. And it's going to slip right in there and close, and there we go. And then right here, you can put the to and from. So there is that. It is a little tight, but it works. Isn't that cute? And I get to use those stickers. Sweet! So I think I will have one part left to this episode, I think. Okay, so in this last part to episode 1, I'm going to show you packaging, and it's going to be, I'm going to pack up these 3 note cards together, and then I'm going to pack the 4 butterflies in something and the 4 bows in something. So I just kept everything in this for now, and then the whole thing together, I think I'm going to try to pack up. So it's all going to be in this one video, and then this will be the end of episode 1. So I'm going back to my 12 by 12 Gilded Lily. And I have some scraps that I want to just go ahead and try and kill. So I have this one, which is one of my favorite sheets out of everything in here. And then I'm just kind of looking around, seeing what else I want to use. Like maybe, I don't know if I want to use that because it would cover up a lot. I don't know. We'll leave that to the side for now. Right now I'm going to make like a belly band, and then I'll decorate it. Okay, so for the rest of this, I'm going to go silent, but I'm going to do a voiceover. So just stay tuned. Here we go. We're just going to start trimming down some paper. I'm going to be making this belly band. I've never really done something like this for packaging before, I don't think. So I'm just cutting the scrap down. I needed to take off that little edge there because it was too big to fit in my trimmer. So now I'm just going to cut that piece off, and then I'm going to kind of measure it around my cards. Make sure, you know, it's going to work out for me. And now I'm going to trim off a piece because it was too long. And then I'm going to break out my Fiskars border punch. It's a really pretty scallop. It kind of matches the tiny scallop that's on the little paper bows that I did. I'm not that good at using border punches, trying to line it up all the time, and yeah, it's just me. I do one side first. You see right there, I missed a spot. I do one side first, and then I take it back to my cards and see if I want to make the strip thinner, which I end up cutting an extra piece off just to make it a little thinner so you can still see the cards with the belly band on. Right there I'm seeing, yeah, I want to make it a little thinner, so I'm going to cut off another strip. And then I'll go ahead and punch the other side like I did earlier. I do realize later on that there's like a little grid on that punch that you can kind of follow, and it does help. Okay, so now I have a nice little belly band there. I'm going to wrap it around my cards. And I didn't share the rest of the cards after I had made them. You can kind of see how they look there. But I stack them all together and I wrap my paper around. And then I kind of mark it with a pencil on one side so that I know where I'm going to add my glue, because I do use my wet adhesive to secure the strap. This way I don't put too much glue, and I put it in the right spot. So I'm just using my favorite wet adhesive from Scotch. I'm going to stick that together. And I'm not too worried about the seam or it not lining up, because I am going to cover that and put another, you know, embellishment on top. So I'm going to slip this on carefully. Make sure that it all fits and it's nice and snug, and the cards aren't loose in there. I grabbed another sheet of paper from the 8x8, and I'm going to cut out one of the images. It's a little framed image that I'm going to use. So I just fussy cut it once I get it out of that big piece of paper. usually the best way to do fussy cutting like that, especially when there's more intricate things you got to cut around, is to actually move the paper around while you're cutting instead of trying to move the scissors around everything. You can kind of see that I keep, moving my image around. So I thought that would be a cute little piece to add there, and I used some foam tape on the back. I find that at Big Lots, actually. I can't remember the brand because I don't have the packaging, but I usually find that at Big Lots. So I put it on the actual strap there, and then I put my image down. Then I decided I want to add more to that, make it a little more dimensional, because there's flowers in that image, so I thought I would go ahead and add some more flowers to that. There I'm deciding which card I want to show through. Because of all the little scallops and everything, it is a little harder to slip on, but it does go on. Plus my card itself is layered, so that kind of gets caught. Alright, so now it's all in, and now I could decorate. I didn't have to decorate it while it's on there, but I just felt like it would be easier to go ahead and put everything in to do this. So I'm breaking out some of my stuff. I have little flowers. I think it's Recollections. I show it a little closer later. And then those little tiny shabby chic leaves are from Wild Orchid Crafts. I'm using my Tim Holtz scissors to cut off the stems. You could keep the stems and curl them, make them into little curly cues, but I don't like doing that only because they always get caught on things. So I'm using a few of those flowers. Some of them have little tiny pearls in them. And I'm just arranging them first before I glue them down to make sure I like how it's going to come out. I think I'm going to show you what that package looks like next. Or maybe not. But it is from Recollections from Michaels. That's a new thing that they're carrying now. There we go. They look like the ones from Hobby Lobby almost. So now I can go ahead and glue these down. I do have to be careful that I'm not gluing through those scallop holes that are there, and through the cards and everything. I don't want everything to stick together. So I kind of carefully put in those leaves. But those are my favorite leaves. I use those a lot. They have a very light pink tip on them. I'm looking at it because I glued the back side of that flower, but because it's going to get layered, you can't even tell once I put the other two on top. So I'm pretty much done decorating that. When I package everything, I'll be packaging that as well. On to packaging my embellishments. So here we're just going to go ahead and pack everything. You can see the size of that package, which I got at Tuesday Morning a while back. I don't know if they still have them. It's a nice size. Most of my plastic packaging I get from Tuesday Morning. So I picked out a couple of papers from that 6x6. And I'm just going to cut it slightly shorter than the packaging so that it leaves room for the bulk of what's going in there. So off to the side I was marking my paper. Use my little cutter again. And I'm just kind of fitting it in there to see how it's going to look, if I have enough extra space. And then I'm going to mark. I kind of test it out. Make sure everything is snug. Well, everything fits at least. Then I'll mark it again to do the top part. And then I did the other one as well. I did two. One I cut a little more off because it's for the bows, and the bows are a lot thicker. So these I'm going to put in there without any kind of adhesive or anything because it has the tool on the back. So I'm just going to slip it. And I'm going to leave the opening on the bottom. In the top part, I'll put, you know, like a topper. This way, when you get this, you open the bottom and you don't have to deal with trying to undo the toppers. That I learned just from receiving a lot of packages and realize, hey, you do the bottom part, you leave the bottom open. So you see there's space on the top. That's where my topper is going to go. I don't want to cover my embellishments with a topper. Now I had sealed it, but I will be doing a separate video where I show everything and I'll be taking them out to show better. So now to package the butterflies and try to see which direction I want them to go. And I do put a very small dot of hot glue to secure it. I didn't want to use pop dots, or I do have removable adhesive tape, but it never sticks. That one was a little too high, so I undo it and put it back down. I do remove the glue. I was kind of trying to fix the paper had come off. But yeah, just barely a dot of hot glue, and they will pop off when removed. So again, the opening's on the bottom. I left a little space on the top. And now we're just picking out some paper to do our toppers. Still using the 6x6 from Gilded Lilly. And I'm going to cut the 6x6 in half, so I have a 3-inch, or I have two 3-inch pieces to use. I only cut it one time. And then I'm going to go ahead and score it in the middle, and then I'm going to punch the edges with the same scallop punch that I used earlier. I don't have to score it first, but I figure once I punch it, the size is going to be different. So at least I know that I can just score it at 1.5 inch. And then I'll go ahead and punch the edge with the border punch. I think this is where I had realized, hey, I could use the little grid marks that's on there to make it a little easier. So now that the opening's on the bottom, I could just use regular adhesive to add my topper, and it'll be on there permanently. And I'll put it on the back and the front of the packaging. Just want to crease it a little bit, and now I can put my runner. And once it's on, it wasn't, oop, I almost ripped it. I was trying to remove it and move it over because it was slightly over to the right, but I said, oh well, it's down. So here I had already put the tape down. I forgot to hit record, and that's just, I think that tape is from Michael's. That was a Martha Stewart bow punch. So I broke out some bows that I had previously made with that Martha Stewart bow punch. The bow punch I found at Hobby Lobby. And I just like the silver glittery, it's like a fine glitter look to that. And I just, I ran the tape only across the front part just to have a little color, and then my bow. And now I'm going to add one of those gems from the Paper Studio, which is Hobby Lobby. Just glue one of those down. I always have to put a little something in the middle of those bows. It's just the finishing touch. So that package is done, and then the other one's going to be done in a second, and then I'm going to package the note cards. There we go. Really pretty. So I grab a glassine bag. I don't know why I kept moving those. That bag was recently sent to me. It had some goodies inside. So it was from one of my followers on YouTube who sent me something for the challenge that I had going on. So I still had it out, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this, because I wanted to do something similar like I just finished doing with the other ones. But I also wanted to be able to keep opening and closing that glassine bag. So I think I used that one, did I? Yeah. I folded it one more time, and then I decided to do the same thing, but I'm only going to seal or glue down the back of this, and then you'll see what I'm going to do. So I'm cutting it down to size, and I just folded it in half by hand this time instead of using my punch board. Do my borders again. And I don't know if it's just me, but the Fiskars, a lot of those are really hard to punch. They cut well, but they're just a little harder to punch than the Martha Stewart punches. Okay, so I'm just going to put the adhesive on one side, in which is going to be the back. And I'm going to put some tape again on this one, but a different color. I was going to do the blue, but I decided to change colors and use this really like a dusty pink color, and that is from, I think it's from Target. They have in their packaging and party supply section. And then to keep that close, I break out a clothespin that was also in one of the entries that someone sent me. It's just it matches perfectly, but I still needed to add one more thing to that. I'm looking for a bow to put. I thought I was going to put that, and I'm like, nah. I don't even know why I kept trying, but it was just too big. So let's see. I should have cut this out, but I didn't. I kept trying to see what I wanted to put on there, but it's okay. You guys can see me trying to figure out what I want to use. I had this, which is full of pre-made bows, pinwheels, and rosettes. So here's another one that I use, that I had created with the Martha Stewart punch. And I glued that down. That's a little better as far as the size. And of course, another little bling piece to finish it off. So this pretty much concludes the second part to the first episode of my Use It or Lose It series. I do end up gluing that little piece of flap to the topper so it goes up when you lift it. Alright, now we're done, I think. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you the rest, and I will be doing a separate video showing everything, and that's it. Thank you for watching.